All right, so I have something to share. In the interest of transparency, I need to tell you something. You are currently already inside the thing that you are here to learn about, right? You just click to learn about the Lead Refinery, and now you're inside one of my Lead Refineries. So I want to say welcome. I want to kind of walk you through what this is, how it works, and then let you make a decision about whether or not this is right for you and your coaching, education, and course business, right? So, what is the Lead Refinery? Well, real simple. It's a system I've designed that I have found is the best way to maximize your conversions from any new source of leads that you are generating. And to kick things off, just do a little case study. If we look here, this is just some data from a recent test that we were running with a new traffic source. And these are the numbers, right? Using a Lead Refinery. We spent about anywhere from $1,800 to $1,600. That's a range estimate just because another bill has to come through. We don't exactly know what it's going to be, but it's going to be somewhere in that region. Leads we generated, about 3,000. Active remaining, 1,400. We're going to talk about that, why there's only 50% of them still active in a minute. Clients, we've got 3 new clients for cash collected, $9,000. So we're selling something expensive at $12,000. With this new lead source, we were just getting people to purchase that product. So cash collected, 9,000. Total contract sold, 36,000. So you can see here our cash collected ROAS, meaning for every dollar we've put in, we gotten 5 to 7, nearly 8 back within 60 days. This time frame is looking at, and if we collect all that cash, our return on ad spend here is going to be anywhere from 22 to 30x, and that number is only going to grow, right? I expect that number 30x to probably triple, as I'll explain here in a minute, right? Why can I be so confident that that number is going to triple? Well, very simply, it's because the Lead Refinery is all about how you do exactly that. How do you maximize conversions from new leads, not just in the short term, but over the long term. To give you a simple model to break this down, to understand it, we're going to look here and we have 4 quadrants on the screen. Okay, you can see there's yes and no on the left here, and then on the right, on the top there, you can see now and later. So what we want to do is break down and look at the numbers. For let's say 2,000 leads. So we're going to analyze 2,000 leads. And we want to understand, when do people make purchases? Now, if you haven't looked at this data before, what you will see is that if we follow those 2,000 people and ask when they purchased anything from anyone over the course of 2 years, what you'll see is about 50% of them don't make a purchase at all. So that means 1,000 of those leads will not have purchased anything from anyone. But 1,000 people will have purchased something from someone. So the question is, when do they make the purchase? What you'll find is, if you look at the numbers, about 15% of the 1,000 buyers, the people who do make a purchase in what we call the now timeframe. Okay, now the now timeframe is anywhere from 30 to 90 days, which means that the vast minority of people are taking action in the first 30 to 90 days. But that is when the vast majority of people put the sales pressure. And what that ends up doing is really squeezing that bundle of leads too hard, right? And costing them a huge amount of opportunity in where the vast majority of sales are, which is 85% of people buying later, after 90 days. Now, once I discovered this, I was like, why are so many people using marketing that's extremely high pressure and trying to go extremely hard early on? It's turning an awful lot of people off. But also, the other approach is also flawed as well, which is you get new leads in and you don't make any offers. You don't sell anything for 6 months because you want to build a relationship before asking them to make a purchase. That's also a mistake, right? What you want to do is very simply have a system that allows you to generate new leads, find the people who are ready to buy early on, get them to take action, get them to say yes, collect money out of that one bundle of new leads to fuel and fund the entire machine to pump more leads into it. But at the same time, doing that in a way that doesn't cost you the big opportunity that's coming from the people who are going to purchase later, right? That is what the Lead Refinery is all about. And I want to show you how it works. This is a diagram we use. It's kind of showing the process of lead alchemy, how you're turning base leads, right, low quality leads, and refining them into golden prospects, right? Golden prospect is someone who has the money, who has a bleeding neck, has the ability to say yes, is bought into you and your USP, your unique approach, and what you're selling fits their overall life plans, right? A prospect has to have those 5 qualities to be considered golden, but if they're a golden prospect, it's easy to convert like 80-90% of those people into your program. That's the objective that we're trying to accomplish, okay? Now, there's 3 key components up the top here. You can see they're written in blue. 3 key parts of the model. There's the flow aspect of the conversion engine, which is all about how you get new leads in the front end. That's the lead refinery. I'm going to come back to that in a second. I want to show you the rest of the machine quickly, just contextually so you understand it. The second part here is conversation. Now, conversation is how you convert people, basically speaking. That conversation can be on the phone. It can be in an email dialogue. It can be a text, SMS, Instagram chat, Facebook Messenger chat, or it can be the conversation that's happening between you and the prospect on a sales page, right? You need to kind of isolate people's attention, have an exchange of all thoughts and ideas that will lead them to the conclusion what you're offering is the right fit for them. Now, the third part of the conversion engine is the product part of the model. All right. Now, the product is kind of twofold. It's one, what is the product and the offer that you're going to get people to say yes to that is an obvious yes and high value exchange for the prospect, but also it's the product of the entire machine, right? The whole purpose of what you're trying to do is get people from all the way on the left here, which we'll consider strangers, how we turn those into students, right, and clients. That is the product of the conversion engine, but you also need to have a product for them to purchase. And so we have a whole part of this system. We call it offer engineering. And that's about how you come up with your big expensive thing, which is the main purpose of what you actually want people to buy, how you make most of your profit. And then the small thing, which is if you're trying to optimize for conversions, what you'll want to do is have something for the people who are not the right fit for your big thing to purchase so that you optimize for more money on your return on ads, and also fuel the rest of the lead gen engine to get more people who are ready for your big thing, right? So this is the larger level machine, and the most important part is all the way on the left here, the lead refinery, right? This is really what is pumping again, like it's the flow part of the system. Without flow, the system doesn't work, right? The rest of the system is just how you process the leads, how you move them from one phase to another, how you qualify and get them into a product. But if you don't have flow, it doesn't matter how good the funnel is, right? And so that's really what we have to look at building. And that's what the lead refinery is all about. Now, main concept you need to understand is when it comes to the lead refinery, there's kind of 3 grades of leads that we need the lead refinery to generate flow for and then sort them into. So the flow is going to come in here at the bottom. Now red represents let's put that to red, the never buyers. These are the 50% of the leads that are just not going to buy anything from anyone, right? One of the main things we got to figure out is who are those people and how do we get rid of them? You don't need unqualified non-buyers clogging up your pipeline. And as you'll see in the case study, we had like 50% of the leads either unsubbed or we had them unsub, right? I'm very, very comfortable with people who are not the right fit, discovering that rapidly and unsubscribing, or us discovering which ones are not the right fit and unsubscribing them, right? That was what we'll see here. And that's really an important part. So you know who to focus your energy on. Okay. Now, out of the remaining grades, there are 2. The first of these is the later buyers, which is the vast majority. In this case, about 48% of the leads. And then the top here are the now buyers, right? The prospects who are coming into your world that are actually interested in taking action and solving a problem in the next 14, 30, 90 days. Okay. Now, what your lead refinery needs to do is it needs a number of key components to interact together, right? You need to have your flow, your traffic coming in the bottom here. And then you need to have the ability, right, to have the right fit folks come into your machine. You need to have them sorted into these 3 grades. And then what you need to do is you need to have your now buyers move forward into your QA and sorting center, which is where you qualify, sell, and get people into the right product for them. And then you also need the later buyers to move into the trust reactor, right? The trust reactor is where the later buyers are holding, where they are having trust built with them in the short and long term, and then where your system is going to move them up into the converter so they take action when the time is right for them, right? That's the engine that we help people build, but the key component is the Lead Refinery, right? And it's about how do you sustainably, reliably, and consistently get new flow of leads in, have the now prospects move into your key offers or into your sales process so you can convert them into your key offers, and how you identify the later buyers, automatically and ongoingly nurture and build trust with them and move them into your trust reactor for when they're ready to activate later. So now that you see how the Lead Refinery works to generate new lead flow and sort them into later buyers and into now buyers, I want to make you an offer, right? If you're here, most likely you could, because you know and realize that without lead flow, without high quality leads, the rest of the system just doesn't matter. And you can see how critical it is to be able to find leads and sort them into the right locations. And most importantly, get those golden prospects to take action and buy now, right? So with that in mind, I want to switch over to desktop and walk you through the key components that I'm going to give you in this offer so you can decide whether or not it's the right fit for you. Alrighty, so here we are inside of the Lead Refinery product I put together with this special offer. What you're going to get is access to, as you can see here, 4 trainings. The Lead Refinery is going to be a tightly compressed overview training showing you how the machine works and how the key components fit together. Now, your Lead Refinery is going to be comprised of 3-4 subcomponents, right? The first of those is what we call the high quality leads machine, which is going to be both the lead magnet and the before, during, and after experience of the opt-in for that lead magnet, and how you're using those 3 elements together in a consistent, congruent way to get high intent based people, i.e. people who are actually looking for a solution to a problem and not just curiously opting in for something with no intent of solving it. How do you get those people to raise their hand? But also, how do you create the now pathway for people who are interested in solving the problem immediately to step forward into a conversation with you, right? That's going to be the first element. Then there is going to be the ads that work here, which is how do you write the ads, paid, organic, referral-based ads, whatever they are. How do you write those in a way that's going to get the right people clicking forward, right? Having a lead magnet is one element. You also need to have the ad so that you are pulling the right people forward and getting them into the machine. And then after, the imprinting sequence. And the imprinting sequence is all about the follow-up, right? Once you get someone to opt in, you need to use emails, additional kind of, maybe you want to add retargeting. How do you add those in so that you are moving the now people forward, paying attention to the right signals and sending more messages to the now people so they accelerate down your now path? But how do you also identify the later people and move them down the later path where you're nurturing them ongoing, right? Those are really the key components of the Lead Refinery and how you're going to sort people into never, later, and now buyers and get the now buyers taking action, right? Here's one of the trainings. If you're wondering what it looks like and whatnot, just you're going to be coming in here. We have everything broken down into short videos so it's easy to consume. To be super clear as well, I'm not in the practice of like having these long trainings or just me talking. As you go through all these, you're going to see they're bite-sized, rapid action taking, whereas here's one concept and then we workshop it. So as you're going through this, you're going to see there's a bunch of workshopping and hot seats, etc., with a bunch of feedback, which is hyper valuable for you because you can see how I've workshopped with my private clients to improve their stuff live. Okay, so that's what you'll see here. And if you just scroll further down the page that you're on right now, you'll see this. and you'll see the bullets of what we're covering, but also exactly what you get, right? I've kind of covered the Lead Refinery here, high quality lead machine. You also get the intent-based lead magnet, which is a training that's actually in the high quality leads machine workshop there. There's a full dedicated chapter to that, but that is a training. You won't see an individual module in the portal there, but it's part of the other training. Adds that work that I covered, the imprinting sequence which I covered. A lot of stuff in here that I think could be a big win for you if you implement it. If you have any questions, hit reply to one of the emails that you've got about it. Happy to answer it there, but it's a fairly straightforward offer. Grab it, enjoy it, apply it, generate some leads, and I'll see you on the other side.